Article 8. I can read it. It's in another one line, which says, within 3 months of receiving an audit report referred to under subsection 1, Parliament or the relevant county assembly shall debate and consider the report and take appropriate action. So the net effect of the two sabbatical is that the Auditor General ought to have completed and submitted the audit report of the county government of Kisii by December, and that within 3 months of submitting that report, the Senate here ought to have deliberated and determined these proceedings.
So who do you have a problem with?
The evidence I have that I can rely on.
Which constitutional entity do you have a problem with? Which constitutional entity is in breach of the Constitution, in this case, in your submission?
I want to believe both or either, and under the constitutional provisions, it doesn't matter whether it's both or either, if at least one is in breach.
What has the Senate breached as far as the Constitution is concerned?
229(8) requires that within 3 months...
Can you read it verbatim?
Council, as you prepare to read, you will also address us on retroactive applicability of that decision. You will point us to the paragraph where the judge says that all previous audits are now declared illegalities.
I think let's first stick to, because here you are at the Senate, I am not going to answer for the Office of Auditor General. I'm going to take responsibility for the omissions or commissions of the Senate. So read 2298.
It says, within 3 months of receiving an audit report referred to under subsection 1, Parliament or the relevant county assembly shall debate and consider the report and take appropriate action.
Where has Parliament breached that provision?
The invitation we received, the first invitation to deal with
Who
this
tells you that that invitation was a first instance where Parliament was dealing with this report? Have you looked at the covering schedule? When was this report tabled in Parliament?
Well, you said...
When was the report tabled in Parliament?
I don't have the evidence.
If you don't have that, then you are engaging in speculation, my friend.
That would deal with 2294 concerning the timelines within which the...
No, Wakili. If a matter is expressed in terms of a time period, if you do not know the start date, can you really talk to us about breach of the Constitution? You have said yourself you don't know when the reports... Just a minute.
I have one...
Do you know when the reports were tabled in Parliament? Yes or no? It's a simple question.
I don't, and that is
then
why
therefore you cannot know whether it is out of time if you don't know the date in which it was tabled.
That is insofar as you're dealing with the...
Correct, and that is the question the chair is asking you.
Let me clarify this, because this is a no-brainer. I see where you guys are going to, but we are not going to allow you to go there. This report for the year ended 30th June 2023 was laid on the table of the Senate by the Deputy Majority Whip on 21st of March 2024. Was that within the 3 months required of Parliament, according to Article 2298? Yes. What does tabling mean? It means the matter was brought before Parliament. What does the Constitution require us to do? It requires us, within 3 months after receiving an audit report, Parliament or the County Assembly shall debate, consider the report, and take appropriate action. When this report was laid on the table on the 21st of March 2024, the appropriate action that Parliament took was to refer it to the Public Accounts Committee. The Public Accounts Committee was then mandated to look at the issues, to investigate the issues, and to bring back a report. What has this Senate done that is outside the Constitution if the tabling and decision was made on 21st of March?
Now, the compliance within 3 months.
Was 21st of March within 3 months?
I'm referring to the proceedings before you.
This is the appropriate action that is subsequent to the decision of 21st of March. You should have done your homework, my friend.
Chair, also,
And Governor, you need to look at the quality of legal advice you are getting.
Yeah, we have 2 reports here. There is 20.
I am dealing with this report. What is out of order in the report for the year ended 30th June 2023, as far as the role of Parliament is concerned? What is out of order? I have shown you, Deputy Majority Whip tabled this report on 21st of March 2024, and thereafter, Parliament made the decision that the appropriate action is for the report to be considered by the Public Accounts Committee.
Chair,
Have you looked at the Hansard?
I gave this advice based on the 2 reports that were here.
No, let's deal with one report at a time. Do you have a problem us taking appropriate action on the report for the year ended 30th June 2023?
I will need to be furnished with evidence when.
Whose responsibility is it to
I have been
prove?
kind enough to supply that evidence to you. Because today you are not running away. Tuko na wewe hapa. The evidence is now before you. Can you see the page that the chair is referring to?
Chairman, as the CA is looking at that document, rightly the way you put it, you received the document on 21st March. Within the 3 months, which were coming to an end, that is in July, the invite that you gave us, you should have actually made it possible within the 3 months to have considered these reports.
Governor, you go back and read Article 2298.
Yes.
We have looked at this ruling that you have put before us. We have looked at it from page 1 to the last page. What is required of Parliament is to debate, consider, and take appropriate action. What we are doing right now is a part of taking appropriate action. When a report is tabled, the Speaker or the leadership of the House makes certain decisions for action to be taken by a committee that is outside the 3 months that we're talking about here.
Chair and Governor, in light of what you told us earlier about your inability to attend this committee, is that really a fair accusation for you to make? Knowing very well that you yourself have been unable to appear here, and you have given us reasons. One time you were outside, the other time you were at a presidential function. We were here. Is it fair for you to say that we should have done things that you know you contributed to our inability to do?
Chair, that will not be fair. I agreed. But the question is, Chair, apart from where at the Senate as it is, that it did not receive this report on time as required by the Constitution, could we cure? That's the question, Chair, again. I want to...
Okay, let me ask you, Governor. When did you submit your financial statements to the Auditor General?
It must have been submitted on time, Chair.
No, it's not a speculation, because you guys are prepared with the facts. Yeah. What is the date on which you presented your financial statements to the Auditor General?
Can I have my copy back, Wakili, if you are done?
Chair, I'm told 30th September.
Where are you reading that? Can you prove it? Can you prove it?
I can ask my people, because the people submit under the Auditor General.
The financial statement that was tabled in Parliament indicates that they were prepared by your team on 10th of January 2024. 10th of January. Now, Wakili, since you are a smart Wakili, what is your constitutional responsibility as an entity that receives public funds? Before you accuse the Auditor General of sleeping on the job, this was submitted on 10th of January 2024. What is the constitutional responsibility of the entity before you shift the blame?
Well, I'm not shifting blame.
What is the constitutional responsibility of the entity?
They are supposed to account
And you're supposed to prepare your financial statements within what duration?
before close of the financial year.
Well, it's not before close of financial year. Be fair to the accountants in the house.
You can tell us because they're here.
What is your responsibility, statutory and constitutional? Because the Auditor General cannot provide a report before you have presented your financial statements.
The financial statements are supposed to be submitted by 30th of September.
30th of September.
Yeah.
These were submitted on 10th of January. And Governor, your team advises you that we reject this process, these reports, on account of failures by the Auditor General and Senate when you provided your financial statements in January, 3 months later.
Through the chair, those are reversed.
It does not matter to us. This is what we have visibility on.
But Mr. Chairman,
10th of January 2024. The Auditor General has struggled to bring financial statements to Parliament in less than a month. In less than a month, when the Auditor General is required to do that exercise in 3 months. Are we being fair to constitutional entities?
You know, Governor, they say that those who come to equity must come with clean hands. You are trying to hide behind a decision that had totally different circumstances from your circumstances in Kisii. And your wakili there is doing you a great disservice, because maybe I failed to disclose, Honorable Chair, that the governor of Kisii is my friend. I know him very well. He's a good man. He doesn't try to be clever when he knows that there's a problem, and he readily admits when there's a problem. Governor, you're being misadvised. You're being misadvised, because if the claim is that the auditors must have signed by 31st December of 2023, and you yourselves are submitting your financials in January, that umbrella is not available for you to cover yourself with. Let it just rain on you. I think these are the clouds that the chair was referring to when we began this process. Now I can see why I was required to pray.
Chairman.
But just a minute, Vice Chair.
Maybe two just basic questions, Governor. In your own opinion, are you ready to proceed with today's meeting, number one? Number two, through your wakili, there is a principle of separation of powers, and there is a decision that was made by Speaker Emeritus, the current public service, what is his name? J. Muturi. He was your speaker. In fact, I think you were in that session, in the David Ochieng, Kenya Member of Parliament, when I think the NASA wanted to whip him. And Justin Muturi and somebody rushed to court. And the speaker, where you served as Member of Parliament of Dakureti North, stated that there is no arm of government can direct another arm, including whether judiciary or parliament or executive, national executive. So with your wakili there in these principles of separation of powers, where we have judicial overreach, do you think judiciary should be holding the hand of parliament in making that decision and running in their affairs? Because they will be rewriting how principle of powers operates. So I would want to do, and finally, Governor, looking at this report that was tabled on 2nd March 2024. So apart from this Justice Ngad decision, and despite the fact that on several occasions, out of course, convincing reason you have avoided, in the principles of equity, who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Do you think it is unfair to accuse, let me use the word accuse cautiously, the committee did not consider in time, considering that you could not make it because of course, valid reasons that you have tabled? Do you think it will be fair? Those are my 3 questions.
Governor?
Chair, 3 things. Number one, I want to confirm that the county government of Kisii submitted the reports to the Auditor General on 30th September, as by the law. What you have there, is
Evidence to that effect, because you who alleges must prove.
Chair, there is evidence, and I can supply. I can supply that yes, we did submit on time, as it was required.
Okay, I'll allow you to prosecute. Oh, Senator, you wanted?
Yes, Chair.
Oh, okay, just a minute, Governor. Senator.
I just wanted to say that if that information that the governor is raising is not tabled and it's not within it, then we will not accept that argument.
Yeah, because the difficulty we have is that the financial statement that was certified
has already been tabled,
and that we are considering indicates that the county executive's financial statements were approved and signed by the CEC member for finance on 10th of January 2024.
Governor, again, I want to invoke our friendship, and just to remind you that once you go under oath, once you leave that Bible, there are consequences of making statements that are manifestly untrue. Because the documents that are before us are here. Is the CEC for Finance and Economic Planning who signed this document here?
Yes.
Where is he?
Chairman, I'm around.
As Governor, you need to ask your CEC if he understands the import of appending your signature to a document, especially given what the document says. In law, your attorney there will tell you that once you have a document, you don't introduce oral evidence to explain its contents, because we can all read. This is not in Gusii. This is in English. It says the county executive's financial statements were approved and signed by the CEC member for finance on the 10th of January 2024. Is this your signature?
Yes, Chairman.
So is this document wrong? Because what the governor is saying is different from what the document is saying. Should we believe the document or the governor's oral presentation?
Chairman, that's my signature, and that's the document. I believe
Is what this document saying correct?
I believe so, Chair.
My friend, is what this document saying correct?
Yes, Chairman.
Governor, you may want to retract because the subject matter specialist has a different version from what you are giving the committee.
Chairman, given that he just signed, the people who submitted the documents, they're here. And I want to confirm because they have been. And I'm happy that you're bringing up that document. Mr. Nyandanyi, when did you submit the documents?
With evidence.
And who is Mr. Nyandanyi?
The head of accounts. Through my governor, we usually submit by 30th of September.
Usually.
But we don't have the evidence here with us because we didn't know.
Then what you're saying is not useful. Governor, proceed.
Chairman, number two.
You said there were three things.
Yeah.
I'm still allowing you to, but remember our 10 minutes is spent.
Number two, Chairman. Number two, the fact that we brought in the documents and we submitted to the committee. Chair, we were ready to continue with the report, as it were. But Chairman, again, the fact that there was that ruling is what we were taking precaution of, so that we don't offend the Constitution, as it were, and it has been cleared by the courts. Tomorrow we don't find ourselves as a county, at the Senate. Always I'm ready, Mr. Chairman, as I've said. Only precautionary, we were taking caution.
Governor, are you ready? Are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready, Chairman.
Are you still maintaining your preliminary objection?
I am, because, Chairman, I believe if the Constitution is being abused.
You can't have it both ways. You are either holding on to objection, or you are saying you have abandoned it and we can proceed. Vice Chair.
My brother, Governor Arati, and I used to normally play for you when we were taking lunch that you become the governor of Kisii. And I hope you remember those prayers. They are powerful. That's why you are governor. Mr. Arati, Your Excellency, you are with us in Parliament. There are decisions that the courts would make. But we used to tell courts, I can even give you an answer, where you are telling off courts that they cannot interfere with the work of Parliament. So you are before Parliament, which you protected for 10 years as a member of Parliament. Now you are telling us, you know, we can't proceed because some judge somewhere has decided to issue some orders. Yet I thought the important part through the chair is accounting for the taxpayers' money, regardless of any other decision, because I thought you wanted the people of Kisii to know today how the money we dispense to can be accounted for. So, Governor, you should choose the way. Either we proceed or you sustain your objection, then the committee can make a decision, and we also save your time and save our time, because we know you need to be in Kisii also discharging your duties as the governor. So, Chair,
and as senators, we need to be in the chamber to approve money that is going to counties.
Cash disbursement today in the afternoon.
Which we have done faithfully. When it comes to disbursing money to counties, these senators have done it faithfully.
Yes.
When it comes to oversighting errant officials, including your deputy governor, these senators done it faithfully. When it comes to accounting for expenditure, the governor carries a smart lawyer without all the facts to try to sabotage this important exercise. Governor, those are our three very important roles. Yes. Allocate money to counties, we have done it faithfully. To oversight, we have done it faithfully, including an impeachment in Kisii. Why is oversight of finances becoming a problem?
And even we have defeated a presidential memorandum.
Yesterday, we got 2/3.
380 billion.
We raised 2/3 of the vote of Senate.
And we raised 7 billion. We defeated a presidential memorandum.
Why is it that when it comes to accounting, you come with a battalion of lawyers?
Chairman, let me say I didn't come with battalions of lawyers.